Hey, how's everybody doing today? My name is Ricardo Cordew, and I just wanted to stop in today and review some of the questions of the day. And so, if you've been following me for a while, you know I have been doing every day for like 30-second on the reels. I've been doing question of the day, where I kind of ask questions, um, things I'm thinking about in the morning time as I'm walking to work. And so today, what I'm going to do, I'm going to review some of the questions that I kind of asked during the week. I just want to review it, give people some ideas, some concepts, um, with the hopes of it helping you cope with life situations and give you some type of solution, or maybe give you an idea that will help spark you to that next move, that next destiny in your life. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started today. Again, my name is Ricardo Cordew, and we're going to review the questions of the day today. So, top of the week, what I asked the first thing was recovery. How fast do you recover? And the reason why I asked myself that question is because when you are going through life challenges and situations come up where it kind of gives you a trauma, it gives you a bad taste in your mouth, where things that you couldn't plan for, like let's say you're driving to work and your tire gets flat. Or for me, for instance, a couple months ago, I was driving home from work late at night and I hit a deer. And like, man, I could have been really upset and frustrated, and it was so many things that could have went through my mind. But you know, I'm so my mind is so solid when it comes to recovery, recovering fast and not letting things stagnate me or delay me. That I was like, that's just a test. That's just another bump in the road that was trying to delay me, to get me off course. Because I watch this. So I'm going to give you an example, because if I would have um, been slow to recover in that situation, it would have threw me off totally. And this is what I'll give you an example. And so that night when I was coming home from work, I hit the deer, right? And I'm like, man, it's late, but I didn't stop. I just kept going because my car was still driving. It was still going. So I was like, let me just get home, right? And the crazy part about it is the next day, early in the morning, I had an interview for the job that I have right now currently. Now, me in the past, I'd have been all distraught. I'd have been like, man, how am I going to pay the deductible? They're going to total my car. You know, man, I hit a deer. Do I need to go to the doctors and get checked out? If I would have let myself get so frustrated, right, and so fearful and so off track, then I wouldn't have been prepared to go through my interview for the next day. And so I decided when it happened to keep going forward. It's just a distraction to try to take me off course for what my opportunity, my success, my next level I've been praying for and believing for. I pushed through. And so I did everything I had to do. I went ahead and made sure I took pictures of the car and did my insurance claim that day and all that night and stuff like that. But then I sat down, and when I got home, I sat down and my wife found out. I told my wife and everything like that what happened, and she found out and she kind of was worried. But I kept telling her, I was like, it's gonna be okay. It's just a distraction, try to stop me from getting this opportunity, step into this moment of what I've been praying and believing for. And so I sat there, I kind of just decompressed, and I reviewed some of the things I wanted to talk about and touch on when it comes to the interview. Went to sleep. I prayed. I went to sleep, and that next day had an interview. The interview went well, and then the following week I got the job offer, and here I am working now with as a business consultant with Newtown Making, and I'm with Newtown Loans. And so I'm super excited about that opportunity. But that recovery time in life, when life situation comes your way that you can't plan for, that it's the only way people might pass in your life that you didn't that you were close to, and it's crazy to think about that, because I did have an old co-worker pass away traumatically, and it's traumatic, but I can't let it stop me from moving forward in life, right? And I did pay my homage to that person, and you go through things in life, and you still have to focus and still move forward. And so that recovery time, the longer it takes you to recover, the harder it's going to be for you to move forward in life and see opportunity come. So you ever meet somebody who is just been going through a rut for a very long time, where they always go back to that one moment in life where they're like, man, this I was I was dealt a bad hand, and it's like they keep saying it over and over. Every time something happens, I was dealt a bad hand. At some point, right, you have to begin to pick yourself up mentally, emotionally, and physically and spiritually to say, I did go through that situation. You know, if somebody was involved, I forgive that person so I can go to the next level in my life and move on. And so I know it's I know it's harder to recover from a situation than I'm talking now, but it starts behind the scenes. It starts with some things that you need to do to take the things that you've been going through to begin to forgive yourself, first of all. That, forgive yourself for making that mistake, or maybe not making that mistake, but maybe you went through something that you couldn't, that it wasn't your fault. That trauma, right? You have to begin to heal and love yourself through it all, right? And just think of it as, it's just a testimony. It's a story that I can be able to tell my friends or people who may have went through that same situation. We gave them encouraging words on how to move on to that next step in life. And so the other question I asked, which is on Monday, every day, I go through and ask questions. The question I says, how do you get your mind right? What's some things to get your mind right? And for me, getting my mind right is very important. So for me, I start in prayer. Without prayer, how I'm articulating to you, how I communicate with you effectively, how I'm talking about myself and my situations and things like that, I wouldn't be able to do it because, first of all, I wouldn't have peace of mind. When I pray, I get peace of mind. I always ask God for understanding. I ask Him for insight. I ask Him for favor. I ask God for inspiration. I ask God for a grace, a love to give understanding to the things that I'm doing in life and where I'm supposed to go in life, what I'm supposed to do. I ask God for those things. So what I do to get my mind right is prayer. I read the Bible. I read Proverbs. I ask God, because Proverbs talks about wisdom, talks about how wisdom will chase you down, that wisdom cries out for you, right? And wisdom, with all that I get and get understanding, wisdom brings understanding and knowledge. And these are things that you're going to need to be able to move forward in life. And so reading books about math and the economics or your history, about different things that make you happy. These things are things that allow you to get your mind right. Setting goals to envision where you want to go in life and the things that you need to do to get to that next level in life. That helps you get your mind out of where you're at and where you're going, right? And so I just want to talk about that, how to get your mind right. That's some steps on how to get your mind right. And also another question I asked this week was, when do you know that when it comes to preparation, that you're ready to go to that next step, right? So when do you know, after you've been preparing for a while, you've been getting yourself ready to do things, right? To go to that, to take that next step, to get your real estate license, take that next step to open up your own business, take that next step to go to a new career or transition to a new career. When do you know, after preparing yourself, after prepping for a while, when do you know that you're ready? And the answer is what? You don't know until you do. You don't know till you do. And so, for instance, when I say you don't know till you do, is, preparation. When you're preparing yourself for something, that means that you want to go to do something new, right? And so that goal, let's say, all right, my goal is to I want to open a business, and this is the type of business I want to do. So my business is going to be coaching. I want to do spiritual life coaching, and like kind of like a sector between business and spiritual and business, because I have a lot of experience, right? And so that's my goal, right? And so you start preparing yourself. So for me, preparing myself was reading books about business, going to seminars about business, being around people who have businesses, having leadership over me that runs successful businesses. Also through that, also, I asked God, I was like, I want to be a good husband. I want to be a good father. I want to be a good person in general. So I started following people, connecting people, reading books, that people who are doing good things, right, in life. And that's kind of where I seen good things, and I've seen bad things, right? Things that I can observe and see, like, okay, that's not going to be good for me. That's not who I am as a person. But what they're doing, I love what they're doing. I like how they treat each other. I like that business concept that they have, that system they put in place. And so I begin to teach myself. And then how do you know you're ready? When you start getting some education, when you start getting a little time period where you can start explaining things more in depth, when somebody asks you a question, then that's a knowing tell, or a telltale sign that you are ready to take that next step in life. Now, also, what I always realize is that, whenever I feel like this thing's time to go to the next level in life, it seems like God always sends somebody in my life to open the door. And I want you to catch that. And maybe it might not be opening a door, but piquing my interest, teaching me something that I've been like wanting to learn, but I didn't know how to learn it. And then all of a sudden, some God will send somebody, or I'll see something on TV, or I'll see something on YouTube, or I'll go to some type of event, and it'll be the very thing that I was asking God about, but also the very thing I wanted to do. And so I'll give an example for that. So I've always loved media things, like taking photos and editing videos. Like, I didn't know really how to do it, but I figured out. Somebody showed me, my sister showed me a free app that you could use on through the iPhone to edit videos, and so I began to play with it there. Also, I like photos, and so I got photos from my friends. One of my childhood friends, he did some headshots for me, and I kind of looked at his equipment, and I went and bought my own equipment to be able to start taking pictures. And I wanted to see how to do headshots for myself, and things that I started learning. I seen other people do, and I was like, let me get that for myself, because it interests me and it intrigues me. And I really didn't know where it was going, but I would play with websites and just start building my own website. Was the first thing I did. Then God sent me some other people who had a makeup business, and I helped her make her website. Then my leadership I connected with, they needed somebody to help out in the media, so I did the media. And so all that stuff that came together, all the time I spent doing photos and doing video editing, all of a sudden I was over it, and I was running a system, learning a system. Now, I wasn't perfect at it, but I was always learning. I was always willing to be there. And so, but I got better and better over time. So God, when preparation, when you begin to prepare yourself prematurely, God will put you in a situation that will open a door for you to be able to learn things as you go. And also, since you have that pulling, that tugging, right, to do it, what happens is you begin to have a spirit of excellence upon it, because the things that you want to do and you desire to do, your family being able to do it. So now you have that energy. You not only have that energy, but you have that momentum. Then you have the support of others around you, and you begin that motion of thoughtful thinking, quicker recovery, how to endure things more. And also it helps you get in the right mindset, and you begin to dream and see things even more. The other question I asked was, what do you do for motivation? And I kind of just tapped into that, right? So motivation, right? motivation. So for instance, I have a daughter. So with my daughter, making sure she's safe and she has the things that she needs. That's one thing for me for motivation. My wife, making sure she's taken care of, that I can give her things that her heart's desires without her working. Even if she is working, I still want to do some things for her that I know that she tells me things, and I'm like, man, I want to make that happen for her one day. And so that's motivation for me. But also, I have a passion to help people. I have a passion to empower people, to help them get to the next level. So that's motivation for me, right? And so all these things are motivation, so you have to begin to dream and do things that's you can't just rely on yourself, but you have to rely on God. And so I always say, set a goal so big where you're inspired to get up and do, but also where you have to lean on God just as much as you have to be inspired to do. And so motivation is when you have something that pulls on your heart, when you have something that tugs in what you're doing, it's not going to be hard for you to find things to motivate you. Just get around people who are motivated, and also get from people who are not motivated, who are stagnant. You have to motivate yourself. You have to get yourself in the right surroundings, keep yourself in the right mindset to take yourself to the next level. And so that's motivation. The next question was, what do you do to go forward after you accomplish a goal? What do you do to go forward after you accomplish a goal? And the answer to that is set another goal, right? And you have to set another goal, something that's going to take you to the next level, something that's going to push you to get back focused. And so what I do is I actually practice short-term goals and long-term goals. So my short-term goals could be, hey, I'm challenging myself 5 days out of the week to do the question of the day on Instagram. And then at the end of the week, do a video reviewing the questions. That's a short-term goal. The first short-term goal is just doing the reels, the short videos. So every time I do one, I'm like, yes, good job. Yes, good job. Yes, good job. Yes, good job. All right. Now, what's the second goal? The second goal is to do a video, and I'm doing a video now. So I'm celebrating because I kept myself accountable. I did the short-term goals. I checked that off. And now the next step is to do this video where I'm talking to you right now, and I'm excited about it, right? And so these are ways for you to be able to reach a goal, celebrate it, and then get back on track to go to the next goal. Because I'm going to start over again next week. My next goal is to what? Do the short reels and do another video. And basically, in the end, what I want to do, what I am doing, is I want to create content for Ordinary Just Won't Do boot camp that I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be talking about spiritual awakening, when I'm going to be talking about setting your goals, staying focused, overcoming fear, how to get from lethargic leadership, all these things that are important to me, things that help me get to that next level, get to that new career, step into my moment like my leadership talks about it, and live my best life every single day. How do you get to that moment? And that's the ultimate goal. So I'm doing these so I can build up the educational part, get the structure down, get the system down for the business coaching boot camp that will happen with Ordinary Just Won't Do. And I'm working on that book to finish that off too. So, these are all the things that I'm doing to build up and celebrate the victory that's happening. And the last one, but not least, is how do you keep working to get to go to that next level or that extra topping? So for instance, today, right, I did my short-term goal, and I did another short-term goal, and I accomplished that goal. And so now, let's say you do it in record-breaking time. So I right now, I'm speaking to you right now. So I decree and declare right now that something that would take you 10 years to accomplish, that you will accomplish it in a year's time. I speak that over your life. And so me sitting there saying that to you, now something that you thought was going to be a 10-year plan, you did in a year's time. What do you do next? I kind of answered the question earlier. You set another goal, right? And you go bigger than you ever can imagine, that you need help to accomplish that goal. You know, you need God, you need people, helpers of your dreams. I always say, I will never lack the helpers of my dreams or my visions. God will always send me people to help me. He'll always give me the wisdom. He'll always unite me and connect me and unify me with people who are change agents. I always say that because I believe that, because my whole life it's been happening. But sometimes you have to get in the right mindset to acknowledge and see for yourself. You got to see it for yourself that I do have the help that I need. I do have the finances coming in that I need to go to the next level. I do have my business plan in check. I do have a good concept. I do have a good idea that I can see it farther in the future than right now, this second. I'm not going to look at my situation now and say I can't make it when I know I can. I can see it, right? And so these are all the things that you do to get to the next level of life. And so, you know, I always say that ordinary just won't do. And if you want to shake things up in your life, and so I'm talking to you right now who's listening to this, you know, if you want to shake things up in your life, you have to forgive yourself, you have to love yourself and step into that next moment. Set them goals so you can go to the next level in life, and also keep things that are around you that's affecting you in a negative way. You're going to have to cut them off, and you're going to have to learn how to not internalize things. Don't internalize things to the point where it's hurting you and killing you. It's okay to internalize things when it comes to, you know, you're asking yourself, you know, what went wrong? What can I do to fix it? And, you know, what steps do I need to take to be able to take things to the next level in my life? It's okay to ask yourself that question, right? Because you're asking yourself because you're wanting to do better in life. You're wanting to move forward in life. You're saying that whatever you went through in your past, that it doesn't define you, right? That it's just a tool. It's just a testimony that God is going to use me to be able to help somebody else, to inspire somebody else to take that next step in life. And that's what you're doing, right? You're reaching out. You're stepping forward. But if somebody needs a hand up, you can be able to reach your hand and help them up, but give them the tools, give them the principles that you went through to help motivate them, to inspire them to go through their valley and be able to cast their mountain out the way, so you can walk on from crooked places to straight places. You know, now we're talking about faith. Now we're talking about things that that faith cometh by hearing by the word of God. You know, and so that faith, it's the sub things hoped for with the evidence things not seen. You know, so these are things that you got to begin to speak into existence. You got to be able to walk into. You got to be able to plan your work and work your plan. So these are all the things and values that you'll need to get to the next level. So I thank you for joining me on the first episode of Questions of the Week. And so questions of the day. And so I'm glad I got to be able to talk to you. If you like this video, please like and share. Please comment, and I love you. My name is Ricardo Cordew, and I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, that your days are sweet as honey, and that your life bring you much joy and much laughter. Remember, life is love and love is life. We're on the winning side. I will see you next time on Questions of the Day. Follow my reels. Follow me, because you know my reels, I'm asking questions at least Monday through Friday, and then I'm answering at the end of the week. I'm going to answer the questions that I've been asking you all week, to give you ideas, to give you inspiration, to begin to spark something in your mind or in your heart that's going to help you break through any limitation, any lack in your life, to help you be able to transition, to move, to shake things off of you, so that you can be the best person you're called to be every single day. I love y'all so much. Have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye-bye.